Hello everybody and welcome to Getting Wrecked and Slay the Spire. So this is a roguelike card or deck building game made by Megacrit, and it's kind of like a Hearthstone meets Fast and Light. So when you start this game you can choose between two characters at the moment. You have the Ironclad and you have the Silent, and then it's one locked until later on in the early access. The Ironclad is your warrior type. He will heal with the burning blood after each combat, while the Silent is more like a rogue that likes to use a lot of cards, and she has the passive or 2 additional cards at the beginning of combat. We will go with the Ironclad, and I will speak about the basics of this game in the beginning, and then maybe we'll play some more interesting setups later on. But you start a game talking to this guy, and if you have made some progress you can actually get some bonuses from him from the start of the map or from the start of the run. But let's just look at the map here. So the game has this node, kind of like Fast and Light I would say, where you can use your path, and you can see that we have these Halloween looking pumpkins. That's ordinary monster rooms. We have random encounters that can be almost anything, but usually they are choose something bad or choose something good, or some mixed choices. Then we have these guys, and that's the elites. They will, so ordinary fights will drop cards that you can add to your deck. We will talk about the deck later on here, but these normal fights will give you cards. The elites will give you passives like this burning blood. The campfires will heal you or upgrade a card in your deck if you want to. So you want to be able to upgrade cards instead of just healing, so try to preserve your HP, which makes the burning blood super important. Then we have treasure rooms, and then last but not least we have a boss on this floor. I guess every room is kind of a floor. We are climbing this spire, and there are 3 sets of these we'll have to do. Now I'm going to play a really straightforward in the beginning here and just try to get to the basics, but later on you can start to really try to go for archetypes when you build your deck. Because if we look at our deck now, we have these 10 cards. We have strikes, defend and bash, and they cost 1 energy each, but bash costs 2. But bash do apply 2 vulnerable, which is a debuff that will increase the damage the monster takes by 50%. All of these cards are more or less useless, so as we go forward and deal with these guys in fights, we will get more and more cards, and all of them will more or less be more powerful than the ones we already have. So the goal is to battle through this, build a really strong deck, get to the boss and win the game. Now, looking at this, I would like to get to... When I'm planning my route, I usually look for the elites and shops. That is the first level, I guess. So you can get the shop here, but that's a bit too early because we won't be able to get that much money. Only 1 fight and 1 random. So I could instead go for like over here maybe. Or not going for this one. Well, actually it's not really a problem. We could go for this elite and then this elite, or for the bonfire if we don't have enough hit points to actually fight this guy. Let's start down here. Enough jabbing. So the combat is pretty straightforward. you can see the enemies to the right and you are to the left. And this is our hand, this is our draw pile to the left, and we have our discard pile to the right. If we run through all of our cards into the discard pile, we will reshuffle it and start over again. So you can see the intents above their head. So this guy is going to do something strategic, which means he will inflict a negative effect on us. This guy will attack for 5 damage. You can also see that they have curl up. On taking attack damage, they will gain 6 block. Okay. Well, that means we could either go with our 2 attacks here. If we attack with this thing, he will have 4 hit points, but he will also get this block of 6. So he will actually have like 10 hit points after the bash. We can't really kill him in one go. We could kill this guy, the louse here in the front, and just tank this damage. So you have to take these decisions or make these decisions. Health is really important. But we do have the burning blood, so taking 5 damage is not a huge deal. So we could attack him. He will curl up and get 6 armor. And we could attack him again and do 9 damage. That will first remove his armor and then his hit points, so he'll have 1 hit point left. Since we're not going to kill him anyways, we can attack this guy, because armor will be removed for the next turn. So it's not like in Hearthstone where armor is going to build up over time, usually. So we can just attack both, tank 5 damage because we have the burning blood passive. So if we can kill these guys on the next round, we should be golden. Let's see what we draw. So I'll just kill both here. Not the most interesting combat maybe, but it was pretty easy first room. So since we've finished this battle, we can choose a card, and as you can see, these are much better than the ones we already had, because we have Shrug It Off that gives us 3 more block than one of the ordinary defense, and it actually draws a card as well, so this is much better. So what you will end up doing is trying to build a strong deck in the beginning, but you also want to build synergies. And Headbutt will deal 9 damage, and we can place a card from our discard pile on top of the draw pile, which means that we want to play this. We have a kind of synergy between these cards. We can't pick both, but we could use Headbutt if we had both of these, and we have a really strong card in our discard pile. We could use Headbutt to place that card from the discard pile into our draw pile, and then play Shrug It Off to draw that card and be able to play it again. Now both of these are decent. I will go with Shrug It Off. Let's see what we have in the random shenanigans. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to a forgotten spirit. So we can transform a card. Transforming a card means that it will turn into another card at random. So it's pretty good to do this with a pretty bad card. Since we got Shrug It Off, we could actually transform a defend, since it's actually we need more attacks, and this is a way to maybe get an attack. I got Rampage, which is really good, but also quite bad because we didn't get Headbutt. Let's talk about some synergies here. So Rampage deals 8 damage, and every time this card is played we will increase damage by 4. We want to play this card as many times as possible. And do you know a card that can pull something from the discard pile into your draw pile? Well, Headbutt. You could play Rampage, Headbutt, put Rampage back in your pull or your draw pile, and then you could play Strike It Off, get the Rampage again, but then it will do 12 damage, and so forth. So that's the synergy you're looking for. I don't think I thought about... You can see that we have attack cards, and we have skill cards. Skill cards have these rectangular portraits, attack cards have more triangular portrait, and then there are one more type that's powers, that they have a circle instead. Anyways, this was a really good encounter. Keep on fighting here, let's keep up, or get up the pace. So I have a Slaver, he will do 12 damage, we can heal for 5. I think we should try to take as little damage as possible. We're more or less waiting for our strong cards like Rampage. We can click on our draw pile and we can see what we have here. It's not in order per default, so this is just going to be in random order. I mean, we have Strike It Off, we have Rampage, that's some pretty useful cards. But we have already taken 1 damage too much for the Burning Blood. And he just keep on attacking us. Let's actually try to defend this time around. We want to get to the Rampage again so we can get some more damage. So the early fights don't really have a lot of choice. 7 damage, so Strike It Off will be enough. I was mostly looking for Rampage. Now we will definitely guarantee full Rampage the next turn. The Bash, I think, will be more efficient than playing 2 strikes, even if they will do like 4 more damage. Because now we can play a really strong Rampage the next turn. However, he did weaken us with his attack, because we can see here his intentions are to attack but also have a negative effect. So this will only do 13 and this will do 6. So it's still enough to kill him. But that was a situation where maybe it was a bad idea to play Bash, because that vulnerable wasn't as effective since he weakened us as well. So sometimes you want to front load the damage and sometimes you want to wait a bit. We got a potion in that fight and we can have 3 potions at once. Elixir is a bit weird, so let's not talk about it right now. Well, we can actually talk about it now, so never mind. Here are 2 powers because of these circles and armament. So we can choose Evolve, shuffle 2 wounds into your draw pile. Whenever you draw a wound, draw 1 card. I haven't been able to use this very well, but wounds, as you can see from that descriptions, are unplayable status cards. So they will litter your deck. As you can see here, if we could choose our cards, we will always just draw Rampage and Strike It Off all the time. If we have wounds here, it will take more time for us to get to the good cards. However, with Evolve, we will actually draw a card if we draw a wound card. So it will more or less negate all the wounds you have. And there are some synergies with wounds actually. They are pretty uncommon, but anyways. Combust, at the end of your turn, lose 1 HP but you deal 4 damage to all enemies. Pretty weird power, but it's also one of these that can get some really nice synergies with other powers that can give you extra strength if you lose HP from cards and stuff like that. Armaments, one more of these block cards. This one will upgrade a card in your hand for the rest of the combat. So these cards can be upgraded once. Armaments can upgrade a card, but it's only in that combat. When you start a new combat, anything you upgraded will be downgraded again. So it's not like upgrading at the campsite. Anyways, We'll go with a super basic set here. I want to try some other ones later on, but for now I just want to show you the basic gameplay because I don't know if you've been playing this game or not. We'll deal with this yaw worm. We can play armaments, and now we can choose a card to upgrade, which should be our defend, if we want to take no damage. But we could also just say, well, let's upgrade the strike. We don't care if we take 6 damage, because he doesn't... I know that this guy will use blocks, so doing damage while he's not defending is pretty nice, in my opinion. Now he will block and use a buff, so as you can see, these intents are really useful to keep an eye out for. So we could use bash and rampage, or we can just use strike, rampage. Which one is better? Well, this will do 20 damage, and this will do strike, rampage will also do 20 damage, I think. I'm going to be wrong in my calculations so many times in this game, so just live with it. And then we pull the rampage again. He's just dead. We are almost at full hit points. So if we look at our deck now, we are starting to get somewhere. We have gotten 1 extra block and 1 extra attack because we removed 1 block as well. So we have a pretty balanced deck. If we started to get heavy on the block side, we could get body slam, and then we can deal damage equal to our current block. And that's a really strong build with Ironclad, to just focus on getting a bunch of block and body slam, and then you just use your defensive strength to kill everything. Heavy blade will deal more damage the more strength we have. Now we haven't been able to get any strength just yet, so this heavy blade is more or less useless. So this is a reason why we might want to skip, because we don't want to fill our deck with worthless junk. Now if we're going for a block heavy deck, we could go with the body slam, and that's not too bad. I mean, if you play 2 blocks, body slam will be stronger than a strike. So let's just, like I said, I'm going to go basic deck here, and I want to show you as many cards as possible. We're not going to try too hard just yet. Pungy Beast. So this guy is going to attack. This guy is going to buff himself. They also have Spore Cloud, so if we kill them, we will get the vulnerable for 2 turns. So body slam right now is useless, and since we only have 1 block, we will not use this, obviously. So we could either choose to defend this guy's attack, but I think we will actually go all in on this guy, because he's buffing himself, so we want to be able to kill him as quickly as possible. As you can see, he got 3 more strength, so I want to kill him before he attacks. Right, so what can we do? Well, excellent question. We can't... well, we can use bash to kill him. The problem with doing that is the fact that we will take much more damage in the next turn. So I think we will upgrade the rampage. We will play it on this guy, because... well... yeah, I think so. Because we can't kill this guy anyways, so we might as well start doing damage to this guy, since I want to kill them at the same time. So we don't get attacked while we're still vulnerable from this debuff, the Spore Cloud thingy. So yeah, we took 5 more damage here. But we can kill him and he's not attacking, so... Let's see, can we... Yeah, we can... If you're lucky, you can draw Rampage. Actually, does that matter? Yeah, it does matter. Oh, we didn't. Again, we could have gone lethal on this guy, but since we already have the block, why bother? We can take 1 more damage. We should be able to kill both here if we are decently lucky. If we get 3 of these strikes, it's fine. Which we didn't. Well, this guy is buffing himself, so who cares? But as you can see, we got vulnerable from killing that guy. And now we have a really strong Rampage here. So good night. 1 more elixir. So we're talking about Evolve, that gave us status effects that bloated our deck. Elixir will remove statuses and curses from our hand, so it's an interesting thing. Right. So here is a card that could define our deck in a way. Limit Break, double your strength. This is a rare card, so right now we have no card that gives us strength, but if we get any strength cards, this will be huge. So we can say that, well, okay, let's go for strength. Okay, we will try to build a strength card, strength deck, even if we kind of built a defense deck here, so we could go for Iron Wave. But just for shits and giggles, let's go for that one. And we'll go for an elite. So these will actually show us how it works with negative effects. So all these guys will attack. They have an artifact status that negates 1 debuff, so bash will not work the first time on these guys. Well, we definitely want to play Rampage. Do we want to go on the defensive, or do we want to focus on killing one of these as fast as possible? I think we can slow play it a little bit at least. But yeah, this is an elite fight, so it will do quite a lot of damage to us most likely. They are still attacking. This is pretty unusual, I would say, that they would still be attacking like this. Let's upgrade the defend here. We'll still take damage. And we should really focus on killing one of these, because this was just a round where we took a bunch of damage. Oh no, they should stop attacking us, thank you. So Shrug It Off is better than Strike, since we can use Body Slam. Was it? No, it was not. I'm stupid. Well, that was 4 damage we lost, and 4 damage was actually enough that this thing would actually been dead. Here we got a bunch of status effects. Taste. So that's something we can remove with Elixir. Not that we really need to do it, but we can upgrade a Strike. Too bad we can't kill him with only 1 go here. Yeah, I misplayed this quite bad. We have taken 5 more damage than we should have if I didn't misplay. So now, when we have 1 guy less, we can actually start to keep up with the defenses here. Limit Break is just dead weight right now. Now, there is also an archetype of the Ironclad that likes to be really low with hit points. Because he has a power that will give him extra action points if he's below 50% hit points. I could have gone for lethal on this guy, but I was kind of... yeah. Okay, so... both are attacking, so we could... This was a bit of a misplay, but it's fine. It worked out. So when we upgraded Body Slam here, it actually costs 0 to use, so we can defend and have 21 in defense and then do 21 with our Body Slam. And we don't need to kill this guy since we are going to block all the damage anyways. So let's kill or start attacking this one. So you can see that focusing on defense and using Body Slam is a really strong way of doing things. So we are getting our deck bloated with these dastes. We can use the elixir to remove these guys, but daze is actually a status effect that has ethereal. So it will be exhausted from our deck, so it doesn't go to the discard pile, it's just disappearing here. So it's not... They have nerfed this boss. Before it was actually a wound, and the wound doesn't get removed every single time. So, well, great. That's a bunch of defenses. So it wasn't a good fight, but we did get ice cream. Energy is now conserved between turns. So if we don't use all our energy, it will actually last. We can actually use it the next turn. We also got a block potion, 12 block. Now you can use headbutt to get rampage back all the time. We can get seeing red in order to gain more energy. Or power through will give us wounds, but also a bunch of block. Let's go and see if we can get this rampage synergy up and running. So it's really weird, because we're kind of building 3 different decks at the same time. But like I said, this is mostly because I want to show you as many cards as possible. So we have a looter here, and he will steal 15 gold whenever he attacks. It's quite bad. We're going to take 20 damage. Isn't great. We can use headbutt and bring back... Now we have Shrug It Off at the top of our card pile here. Now do we want to defend? Or do we want to attack? I think we want to drink this block potion, because what will happen is if this looter will attack us for too many times, he will get a bunch of gold and then he will flee, and then we will lose our gold, and we don't want that to happen, obviously. So still doing quite a lot of damage here. Let's upgrade Shrug It Off. And we got Rampage, perfect. We're focusing the looter down. We will take 1 damage. And we got a wound, so that's what you want to use your elixir against. Oh, it's actually in our hand. Now he's going to run away. That's a bit evil. We'll see if we can actually bring him down the next turn. He's vulnerable, but he will block. So we will need to have our rampage up, or 2 strikes. Okay. Well, let's just use rampage. These first enemies are not that bad when they are 1-on-1, but if they are 2, that's usually a bit of a problem. So now we could use this synergy we were talking about. Let's upgrade Headbutt and bring back Rampage. And we can just defend, take no damage, play it safe. And we'll kill him. So Headbutt Rampage is a really nice synergy. Oh, we also stole the money back. Here we have power. Whenever a card is exhausted, gain 4 block. Exhausted means that you remove a card from that combat. We don't have anyone like that, do we? Yeah, we have Limit Break. So if we use Limit Break, it will be removed from our deck for that combat. So with Feel No Pain, we could get that up and running. So this is a pretty common archetype. If you play Ironclad, you will build exhaust decks that just exhausts cards all the time to get more and more block. And I mean, that's something we could try to go for together with our Body Slam. Exhaust cards, gain a lot of block and then use Body Slam. But we can go with Anger, re-attack. The thing with Anger is that it plays a copy on your discard pile. Which means that we start with 1 Anger, but every time we play it, we will get more and more in our discard pile. So it might end up to be really strong. So we could go for an elite here. Sure, it's a first floor, but we don't have that strong deck. But let's go for it anyways. But I would usually go and rest for some more hit points, because there is one elite that is really annoying on the first floor. This one is not really that one. Well, the thing is, he will buff himself, the Gremlin Knob, with a pretty nasty buff. But when we play Anger here, we will have 2 Anger in the discard pile here, so we will have some really nice re-attacks here. Now, since we have the Ice Cream, we can actually just end turn and get 1 extra energy the next time. Otherwise, we could also play Limit Break just to exhaust it, so we don't have to draw it anymore. I think it's better to save our energy here. So, Enrage. Whenever you play a skill, he will gain 2 strength. We will do 2 more damage if we play Armament, for example. So we'll just go all in and start with Rampage here. He will most likely vulnerable us or weaken us with that thing, yeah. So let's use our synergy here. Even if Shrug It Off will make him stronger, we can Headbutt, we can put Rampage on top of our discard or our draw pile. Shrug It Off, he will gain strength, but we will also gain Rampage, and he's most likely dead the next turn. And with the extra armor we won't take that much damage anyways. And we got Anger as well. So we are playing it a bit close here. I think it's fine. Strength Potion, plus 2 strength. That's actually something we could use with Limit Break. Finally. Molten Egg. Upgrade and attack. Not the most impressive relic. I'm wondering if maybe you shouldn't go for elites on the first floor, because maybe you want to get the better cards, maybe go for ordinary battles first. Anywho, we could permanently upgrade Rampage, we could permanently upgrade Body Slam. I think this one is a pretty good upgrade, getting it to be free. Yeah, we might as well. We actually have chosen a card first, because then we could upgrade one of these if you wanted to. At the start of your turn, lose 1 HP but draw 1 card. Once again, there is a synergy with these guys that lose hit points, draw more cards, and get more strength and stuff like that. Could go Bludgeon, use all our energy to do quite a lot of damage. It's a bit wonky to use, but it can be really useful. As we are kind of going for a strength deck, but we really want to bloat it with more anger. Well, let's go with Bludgeon. I'm overthinking it. Like, I'm just used to trying to go with interesting builds. Gain extra energy on the first turn of each combat. That's a pretty good one. I think we go for the shop here. So at the shop we can remove cards for 75 gold. We can buy relics, we can buy potions, and we can buy cards. So let's first of all we can talk about the cards and stuff, so you know what I'm thinking about them. Pummel is an interesting card because it will deal only 2 damage 4 times. This means it will stack super well with strength, because that will deal 1 extra strength, will deal 3 damage 4 times. So strength is really good with attacks that are multiple low damage attacks. Wild Strike, deal 12 damage, shuffle a wound into your draw pile. This is a heavy attack, but you will get a wound. So it's a pretty good one, especially if you have ways to remove wounds. Warcry, draw 2 cards, place a card from your hand on top of your draw pile exhaust. Alright, so this is a card for an exhaust deck, but it's also more importantly used with Havoc. Play the top card of your draw pile and exhaust it. So the synergy here is that you would use Warcry to draw 2 cards, and then you will have plenty of cards on your hand. You will need to place one of them on top of your draw pile. Right, so you will choose, for example, Bludgeon, that costs 3 energy to use. You will place that on top of your draw pile, and then play Havoc, that only costs 1 energy. And suddenly you will play Bludgeon for only 1 energy instead of 3. Well, if you pay for Warcry, it's 2 energy, but you know the deal. Now, I think card removal is really good. I also think that relics can be really useful if you get them early. We don't have that many ways of getting vulnerable, so the Paper Frog, while super good, might be difficult to use. Losing HP, draw 3 cards. Problem with this one is it's only once per combat. It might be triggering at the exactly wrong time. Let's go for Paper Frog. Even if I said it was garbage. What do I know? You can't come across a dead adventurer on the floor. His pants has been stolen. Also, the armor and face appear to be scored by flames, though his possessions are still attacked. You're in no mind to find out what happened here. Find loot, 25% chance, monster returns. Sure. Continue searching, 50% chance. Well, we are going to have to fight an elite if we stay here. And our hit points are really low. But we managed to do it. Oddly smooth stone. Gain 1 dexterity. That will give you 1 extra block from cards. We're not going to keep on looting this guy. because we are too low on hit points. So what choices do we have? We have fight, rest, fight, rest, or we have rest, fight, fight, rest. Let's go here and do a rest. We'll heal 30% of max HP. I want to do this first so I know how much HP I have. If I won't need to use strength potions or anything against these two fights. I had some kind of plan at least. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So Acid Slime. He will put a negative effect on me. When his hit point gets to 50%, he will split it to two smaller slimes with their current HP. So what you want to do is get this guy down to, I guess, 35 hit points, and he will split. But you want to get into like 36 hit points, so he doesn't split, and then you want to nuke him as low as possible. So when he splits, his adds will be as small as possible. Anyways, it's pretty obvious what we're doing here. We're going to get our rampage up again. We will save some energy here. I should get rampage again. We're weak. So here's the deal. We will get him to split, and he is going to split a pretty low hit point. We'll play rampage again and then bludgeon, and it will interrupt him. We will have to deal with two guys at 13 hit points, which isn't too bad. And if I have anger, this guy will do 10 damage. Let's upgrade anger. We're going to block all that damage, I think. We can almost kill him. Never mind. Can't. We'll spread the love a little bit. Sometimes you want to focus on one guy, but I think since we can get one of these to lethal, it's better to get both. So we can kill the one that's actually using an attack first. Just be like, there you go. Because if you had focused on one guy, then maybe the other one would have been the one doing the attack or something. I think I was smart. I don't know. Right, we got a block potion, but we already have 3 potions. I'm going to discard one of these elixirs because they are worthless. They're not worthless, but they're pretty bad. Body Slam, Clothesline, and Perfect Strike. Perfect Strike will deal additional damage if you have more cards with the name Strike. We have these guys. There are also Pummel Strike, but we don't have any one of those. It can increase damage of this one, and also if you get more and more Perfect Strikes, it will start to add up. It's a interesting synergy. Clothesline, apply to weak, take less damage. Problem with this one is that it costs 2. Well, this one does as well, but at least this one does a bunch of damage. We just, but like I said, we are going for a rainbow deck. We will have a card of every color. So, Rampage, obviously. Let's play one defend. Nice to have that extra energy to start. Interesting that we only have one looter here, because we actually fought more enemies in the early game. Had one looter and one slime at a pretty early fight. Look at this perfect strike. Why didn't I take perfect strike? Blood for blood. Cost 1 less energy for each time you lose HP in combat. Deal 16 damage. Also something that would work well with combust, because it will be losing HP. This one, a really strong attack, will get free pretty quick. We're going to go for blood. My reasoning being that we're going for every single strategy at the same time, but also the fact that I had some kind of idea why I wanted to show this. I can't remember. So if we upgrade Limit Break, it will double our strength but not exhaust, which means we can double our strength again and again and again. Looking at this worthless deck, still think Rampage is our strongest part. Armaments is really good upgrade though, because this will upgrade all the cards in our deck in our hand. So that's actually what you want to upgrade first, I think, as a Ironclad. So let's go and do boss. Unknown. The enemy's intentions are unknown. Hexaghost. So let's drink our strength potion. What happened with the music? Get 2 strength, we will use Limit Break. Get that up to 4 at least. And we'll play these 2 guys, and we will save 1 energy for the next turn. I don't need music. Oh, there it goes. Okay, thank you. So he's going to deal quite a lot of damage, 24. We can upgrade all our cards in our hand, seems legit. We could either use Bash and 1 strike, or we can just use Bludgeon for 46 damage. That's quite a lot. Getting 3 vulnerable can be useful. We're going to have Rampage. Or we could use Bash and try to get to Headbutt and get the Bludgeon up when he's vulnerable. That could be pretty useful as well. I think Bash is just a stupidly bad card. We'll eat some damage here. We will like it. I only does 6 damage. We will bring back Rampage, I think. 6 damage. I don't mind 6 damage, I don't think it's worth to defend. We also have some kind of debuff. I think we'll get the burn, yeah. So, burn is kind of like a wound, but this one will actually do damage when it's in our hand. Let's see if we can Rampage, drag it off and hope that we draw Headbutt. Oh. Oh, anger is fine. So yeah, we could go with Body Slam if we really want to, but Defend will not really do that much damage. Or yeah, we don't need to defend. It's more efficient to not play it. So we've got a burn. So this is a reason why you might want to have like a battle cry, war cry, where you could choose a card to discard or put into a draw pile. You could. There are some cards that will exhaust other cards, so you could burn this up and not draw it again. He will block and use a buff. Oh, good for him. Let's make him vulnerable and just hit him and take 2 damage. He's kind of buffing himself. 8 damage. So blood for blood. 20 damage for free. No brainer. Rampage, no brainer. And we have Paper Frog, so he's taking a bunch of damage when he's vulnerable. So, that's Slay the Spire. The first boss. We will have to do 2 more in order to win a run. We're building a deck that's completely garbage, and I know that, but I just wanted to show you as many mechanics as possible. We're going to be a little bit more try-hardy in the next level, because we will need to, otherwise we will die. So we will most likely die, because I'm not feeling that confident. We might want to have some more ways to get vulnerable because of Paper Frog. Let's just see what we get. Since it was a boss, we get golden cards here, so they're really, really strong. You can get 30 block and exhaust this one. Really useful for our body slam. We can get exhume, so choose an exhausted card and put it in your hand. So we can actually get cards back from that had been exhausted. That's kind of interesting. Could be useful for limit break, even if you don't have any strength. And then we have this one. Whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card. This is also a card for your exhaust archetype. Be really useful. I think this is fine to take this one, because here's the deal. 30 block might be overkill in 9 out of 10 situations, but we do have a headbutt. We can choose kind of when to draw this, and we have body slam. So if we want to have it as an offensive power, we also have it. We have no real exhaust strategy going, so let's start with this. And that's it. Oh yeah, boss chest, pretty important. These are super strong. So Runic Dome. Gain 1 energy at the start of each turn, but we can no longer see enemy intents. If you start to know what enemies kind of do, you know how much you want to block without them showing how much damage you will do and stuff. This is a really strong relic. Or we can use Ectoplasm, get extra energy, but you can no longer gain gold. This will be all the gold you get. Runic Pyramid, don't discard your hand, but we will draw 1 less card each turn. So all the cards you are keeping on hand will be there, and you will just pull more and more cards until you have a full hand. And definitely be really versatile, but you might also end up with a bunch of crappy cards on your hand, cards that you want to just throw away into the discard pile. So we'll go with Ectoplasm, because this is, I think gold is less important than actually seeing what the enemies will do. And then we have level 2, the city. So thank you guys for watching this episode. I will try to play it faster and less basic in the next one. Slay the Spire, really good game in my opinion, so please check it out. And I will see you again next time. Goodbye.